Is a big game for Manchester United this weekend against Fulham at Craven Cottage. It's imperative that we pick up 3 points this weekend because look at that league position down there. Looks a little too familiar, doesn't it? It's important that we pick up points fast because we have some difficult fixtures coming up soon, and the pressure is just going to continue to mount up on Ruben Amorim. Believe it or not, in 28 Premier League matches, Ruben Amorim has only won 7. That is a 25% win rate. That is just unheard of as a top tier manager in the Premier League. This isn't to say that I don't believe in Ruben Amorim. I see the things that he's doing. He's improving the culture at Man United. He's getting rid of the players that don't fit his system, and he's just making the team spirit ultimately better by removing those players who don't want to be a part of it. And I back him. And in the first game against Arsenal, I actually saw some very good things. Our press was amazing. Our build-up play looked a lot better. Um, we saw Delit coming to the ball when the keeper had the ball, and then playing that ball out to Euro to help us build up things that we did not see last season. We saw attacking quality. We saw things that I'm ultimately very optimistic about. So it's important to keep that momentum going. We need to get 3 points this weekend. This is a tough game. Fulham just got a very impressive point away at Brighton. In the last few seasons, it has been tough for Manchester United traveling to Craven Cottage. I believe last year we won 1-0, and that was due to a deflection goal from Lisandro Martinez. It was a terrible, ugly game. We did not play well. And I believe the year before we won either 1-0 or 2-1. I can't remember the score, but I believe Bruno Fernandes scored the winner. And that game was also the same. It was very ugly. It was very not entertaining to watch at all. It's just two teams not playing well. On my left, I have my starting 11 for the game against Fulham. In goal, I actually chose to put Andre Onana in the lineup. First, because he had another extra week of training with the first team, so I think he will now be fit to play. And two, we just simply have to get Edward Scissorhands out that lineup. He can't start another game for us. I will give him credit for one thing. His ball playing against Arsenal was actually amazing. Like, I don't think Onana has had a game like that distributing the ball for United in the 2 years that he's been here. And Bayender just was just playing line breaking passes into the midfield. I was like, what are we doing here? Who taught you how to do this? It was impressive, but it's not enough, man. It's not enough. In defense, I went with the same back line that started against Arsenal. I went with Luke Shaw, Delit, and Lenny Yoro. I think they all had very good games against Arsenal. Arsenal didn't really have a sniff at goal. They didn't really have any clear-cut chances. I wasn't too surprised that Lenny Yoro and Delit had good games because they've been pretty consistent over the last 12 months. But Luke Shaw had a great game. And for the last 12 months, he's been inconsistent. He's been unfit. And then when he is fit, he comes back and he looks sluggish and just not match sharp or match fit. So it was a surprise to see him he was winning a lot of 50-50 balls. He was getting touch tight on Bukayo Saka. So it was just really impressive to see. And as long as he looks like that, he walks into this team at left center back without a doubt. The lit in the middle was colossal. Every time Jokeres tried to win the ball, he just said, move, man. Besides that one highlight clip that Jokeres had where he bodied him off the ball. But other than that, he kept Jokeres completely quiet and he just dominated. And then Lenny Yoro was also very good against Arsenal. This is going to be a different challenge for him, however, because he's going to be going against Alex Iwobi, who's a very direct and pacey winger. It's a tough matchup because Fulham like to play a lot through Alex Iwobi, who was their main attacking threat. They love to get the ball to his feet so he can drive at defenders and put in crosses and shots, and that's how Fulham create most of their chances. Fulham also have Raul Jimenez, Rodrigo Muniz, and Adama Traore as attackers. I'm unsure who will start at number 9 between Muniz and Jimenez. Jimenez started the last fixture against Brighton, and Muniz has been linked with a move away from the club, but it seems like he will be in the squad for the game against Manchester United. But I do think that our back three should be solid enough to deal with the threats that they possess. Moving on to the midfield, man, and I got this completely wrong for the Arsenal game. I had Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, and thank God Ruben Amorim didn't start Manuel Ugarte. I mean, it doesn't really matter because either way we still lost, but having to watch Manuel Ugarte play football for 90 minutes is a crime. That was one of the worst cameos that I have seen in my life, ever. And he should not be starting games for us. And I don't want to be the guy who just criticizes his players, but man, that little 30-minute cameo shows us why we need a midfielder before the end of the window. It's so important that we go do that because Casemiro cannot play 90 minutes every week at his age. This is he can't do it in the Premier League. It's too intense. It's too much on his legs. He can probably give us a good 60, 70. I don't know. The links have quieted down. We're not really linked to many midfielders right now. We were recently linked to Agume from Sevilla, but there's no really, I would say, credible journalists that have told us that we are going to make a bid or we've made any contacts. It's only been like journalists in Spain from Sevilla and stuff like that who aren't as notable. But we'll see what happens with that. But for this game, I think you got to roll with Casemiro and Fernandez. I think Casemiro actually played very well against Arsenal. And once he got subbed out, the game changed. We kind of lost control of the midfield, to be honest. And for Bruno Fernandez, it was an interesting game to say the least. I saw a picture of his heat map. I'll put it up here on the screen. And he was all over the pitch, which is classic Bruno, which before I would say isn't good because I think, especially as a center midfielder, you need to be more disciplined and stay in there to help the other midfielder, especially when the other midfielder is an older Casemiro. But it can also be good because I'm pretty sure for at the end of the game, Madueke had a chance to score a tap in, and Bruno was in the 6 yard box defending, and he was the last defender, which is, I don't know how that happens, but I guess that's a good part of Bruno having the legs to run around, and I guess you gotta have to be impressed that he even can do that. But long term, I have my concerns about Bruno Fernandes in the eight. I don't think that's gonna be sustainable for a 38 Premier League season, but we'll see about that. Casemiro and Bruno will be going against a midfield pairing of probably Sander Berge and Sasa Lukic, and they should be winning this midfield battle and all togetherness. Sander Berge does have very good quality on the ball, so it's important that we don't allow him to dictate play. But I think our midfield should have an advantage over theirs. For the wingbacks, Dorgu needs to start. He's an automatic starter at that left wingback spot. He played very well against Arsenal. I really wish that long shot he had that hit the post went in. That would have been a great moment for him. But more of that, more of the same. He'll get a lot of goals and assists this season if he keeps performing like that. And at right wing back, Ahmad has to start this game. We cannot keep doing the Diogo Dalot at right wing back experiment. We need to play our best players and we need to play our attacking wing backs. And that has to start in this game. I think Ruben Amorim tried to play it safe against Arsenal, and I understand that there. You don't want to be a little bit too attacking, and then next thing you know, we're at a goal down or 2 goals down because we went to attacking. But he has to really implement his style of play. In the first game, we saw a lot of hints at what he wants to do. But I believe if he continues to put Ahmad in there, we'll see him and Bumo link up, and we'll start to see these players create connections. And we'll actually start to see the Ruben Amorim 3-4-3 if we play our best players together. And for the front three, this was very tricky because we could also put Sesko up there now that he has another week of training with his teammates. But for some reason, I think you can't drop Mason Mount after the performance that he had. I think the way he plays, he doesn't really play as that classic left 10. He's not really up there. He's more so tucking into the midfield, giving us another midfielder, which is key because of the imbalance that our midfield has. So I think that will stay. I think that front three will stay. I don't think Sesko will start once again, but we'll see about that. And Bumo and Cunha were class against Arsenal, so more of the same, hopefully. We need them to create more connections. There was a point where in Bumo, I believe it was like in the first 15 minutes of the first half where Mbumo had two options. He had Cunha making a diagonal run, and then on the other side of the pitch, Mason Mount was in acres of space. And if he plays that ball, we probably end up scoring a goal. So we just need the chemistry to come together. We need these players to be not forcing it, but be able to just play without thinking. I think you can see that they're playing with thinking a little bit too much. So as time goes on, it's going to be exciting to see this attack create connections and be able to score goals because we have to score more goals. I believe last year we only scored about like 43 or 44. I may be wrong, but in that region of goals. And to be where we want to be at the end of the season, we have to at least hit 60. That's the minimum. And for us to hit 60, these guys have to start creating some chemistry with each other. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. For the game against Fulham, my score prediction, I think we will win 2-0. I think it'll be a 2-0 game, and I think the scores will be Cunha, and I believe Mbuma will get his first United goal also. Also, before I wrap up the video, I gotta ask, over under that Calvin Bassey actually pulls his pants up this game. Let me know your guys' thoughts on my starting 11, and if you have any suggestions or anybody that you think should play ahead of somebody else, drop them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.